right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to At the End of the Day podcast. I'm your host, Sheree.
Co-host Valerie.
All right, today's topic, y'all, we're going to talk about something that I feel like every person from the age of, let's just say, 25 and older has gone through at some point.
Yeah, we could say 25 and older. Okay.
25, that's too young, or?
No, I don't think that's
No.
too young.
Because at first I was going to say 27. But I feel like that's just like in between somewhere. They real
Let's
like
fill
okay.
in on what we talk about though.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, so it's baby fever.
Right.
Is the topic for tonight or today or whatever. I know. I think I say I had baby fever around 25. I want to say probably a little bit younger, maybe 24. No, no.
I say yeah.
25.
I mean, I feel like even if it was just like initial like, oh man, I wish I had a baby type thing.
Right.
At 25, I feel like everybody has to say it. I'm not gonna say everybody. I would say most females.
Right. Yeah. I think for me it was just because I started seeing people after they finish college or even before they finish college they already had their kids and they were either married early or young or whatever. So I started saying, oh, I need to have that, especially at this certain age. And I feel like a lot of women do that. They put some type of time frame on when they should have kids and have marriage and house and all that. And a baby and marriage was at the top of my list.
Right. And I feel like that's something I remember a friend, and she'll know who it is once I say the story. But I found this like the most hilarious thing.
Okay.
When I think we was still in college.
I know this friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
We was still in college,
okay.
and she was like, by the time I'm 27, I'm gonna have a husband. She might have even said 25, to be honest.
Are you serious?
But we were still So she was like, I'm gonna have me a husband. I'm gonna have my job. I'm gonna have like 2 or 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it hilarious because none of us was at a stage to where 25 was like maybe 2 or 3 years off.
Right.
And we
wasn't set up to even.
Yeah, we wasn't set up in that mindset. But I understood what she meant by having that as a life type of journey goal / that's what I want for myself. Yeah.
They be like, in 5 years, this is what I want.
Right.
I want this, I want that, or whatever. Also, I wonder if men also have these baby fever type of feelings like women do. I would say probably not as much as women do, especially not at an early age.
Yeah.
I feel like though, once they get older and at the age like especially around 30 or in their 30s,
right,
and they don't have kids at that, I feel like that's when it hit them like, dang, they want some type of legacy to leave or whatever, and they feel like they're not gonna feel like they get old like women, because we have these like once you get at a certain age, your body ain't gonna be able to pop out no baby like that.
That clock get the tick tocking.
Right. Men's sperm can keep on swimming as long as they want, but women they can't just pop out babies like that, Not everyone. So, but I do feel like men have baby fever too, especially when they don't have kids already at their own, or especially I feel like most men want boys. So if all they've had is girls and they still want that boy, they're gonna have baby fever.
Yeah. Well, I think too it's like for men, they kind of like, okay, well, I need somebody to carry on my name.
Right.
I was laughing with one of my coworkers because one of the students' name is like George or something. It might not be George, but it was like George or something like that.
Right.
And his daddy name is George. And his dad, like his other brother name is like George something, like some type of add-on to it. And I'm just like, you really want your kids to like have your name that bad that you just go keep saying George but change it to like Georgiana or George. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But I feel like all dudes, I would say all good dudes,
mm-hmm.
Dudes that have a sense of that sense of like, okay, commitment is something that I want, or
okay, because I was about to ask you, well, what's a good dude? What do you mean all good dudes?
I feel like I'm saying good dudes in the sense where, they believe in family. They have family values. Um, you know, I would say that realize that what they used to do in their younger days is not something that they continue to do. Right. Like now, right, your responsibilities, jobs, all those type of things. I feel like all those type of dudes do have baby fever.
Right. I can see that, yeah. Because, I mean, if you don't have any type of responsibility, any type of goals, you shouldn't even be having baby fever in the first place.
You shouldn't even be having, doing nothing to have babies, let alone talk about some baby fever.
I mean, we human now.
We human. we human. I really wish. I really wish some people could, like, take some type of test. And if they dumb as rocks, don't have no common sense, or, make stupid decisions, say stupid stuff, all your sperm get taken, get swooped right on up. You don't get no sperm. You don't need to reproduce.
That would totally lower poverty.
Right, you done took it from an economic standpoint.
Yes, I did. And dumbasses, yeah. It was.
I mean, we could use a few less dumbasses in the world. Yes, I mean, example, Donald Trump, somebody, yeah.
We should turn that policy into somebody.
For real. Good Lord. I mean, like, people, I'm baffled by ignorance. Like, I'm really baffled by ignorance. Mm-hmm. So, I feel like you shouldn't, let alone have a baby fever. Like, you just need a fever. Just get, like, you just need the flu. Instead of having baby fever, you just go get the flu, okay? Every time you think about, whether or not you want a baby, you just get the flu.
Get sick as hell. You be like, I ain't never think about baby.
Right. Shoot. Control it.
I would say, though, like, when my sister had her baby, I wouldn't say I got baby fever, but I was just like, it would be, nice to have, like, just to see what my child would look like. But then as soon as I start staying over there and being around that baby, I was like, hell no.
And you crazy because the baby don't even cry that much. You just...
Shit, she spit up too much for me.
So
I'm
stupid.
like, I don't feel like cleaning up that spit. If she spit on me, oh my gosh, like, what am I gonna do? It's on me. I'm just thinking about it and just getting freaked out, man. Like,
let me tell you, I got the worst baby fever. Like, I think it's
so you got baby fever right now?
Yeah, but I feel like it's kind of died down a little bit between, like, dream and reality. Like, dream, of course, like, by now I would want to at least have 2 kids. Mm-hmm. Reality says you're not really fully ready,
right?
Other than mentally for a kid. Like, for me, my situation, it would be extremely selfish to bring a child into the world knowing that I have a choice in, going about it in that way.
Like, what you mean?
Well, I mean, it's just like with me being lesbian or whatever. Okay. It's a process in having a child if you're not doing it the natural way. So why would I go through that process? Have a kid,
pricey,
yeah,
and then you might end up being alone doing it on your own.
Right.
So yeah, I mean.
But knowing that, bringing a kid into the world, knowing that maybe financially I'm not ready, mm-hmm. or I'm not as stable as where I would want to be personally, mm-hmm. For my career. Mm-hmm. Those are the type of things that you can take into consideration and be like, okay, well, me having a kid right now is just like, I wouldn't do that.
So y'all have, like, you as a lesbian in the LGBTQ LMNO, being belonging to that, y'all have more, like, deeper, like, responsibilities and thoughts to think about when y'all want to have kids. Like,
I feel like everybody should go through this thought process, but people get so wrapped up in just having sex that people end up having oops.
I mean, sex is good though.
I I mean, sex is good. Okay, yeah, sex is good, and I'm a product of a oops. So I don't.
I think a lot of us is products of a oops. I'm just saying, your mom probably ain't telling you that, but you probably.
I mean, come on now, like y'all know if you a oops or not. I'm a oops. I'm gonna own up to my oops. Okay, I'm a oops. So I don't.
Your daddy at.
You're so ignorant, stupid.
Hey, I'm just being real, alright. I hope my mama ain't listening.
She gonna kill you.
But yeah, I got you.
But yeah, from same sex couple, now you done messed up my train of thought with that because it's so stupid.
It's cool. But I mean, okay, I get what you said, and then for me, like I said, I had baby fever years ago, but all the way up until I want to say last year, I was just like, I'm good. It happens. But I would rather, and I still stand to this, would rather be married before I have a child.
Right. To me,
if I'm not married and I don't have no baby before I turn 35, and I say this all the time. I mean, things happen, and I can't help, life and how life happens. But if I'm not pregnant, if I don't have if I'm not married by 35, I don't want any kids. I said I'm gonna start traveling. I'm gonna be that Sex in the City type shit. That's me all day. So
I don't feel like I want to limit myself to saying, okay, at 35, if I have not had a baby.
Yeah, but who wants to have a baby? Like, your child graduates school, you gonna be what? 68, almost 70. Wait, not even that. Wait, yeah. I can't count, y'all. But you gonna be old as hell, okay?
Yeah. I mean, I get it from that standpoint, but I feel like most people in the world should give their gift of being able to reproduce and bring a child into the world that society needs. Like, we need some good people in this world.
Yeah, we do. I feel like, man, especially I always say I want a boy. Because if I have a boy, he is going to be such a gentleman. Like, he is going to have manners. He is going to be, he's going to be molded right. Like, respectful, manners, a man's man. Like, just a gentleman. Like, all around helpful. All that.
Yeah.
And we need that. Right now, we have so many boys who...
They don't have any direction. They don't have any direction. And it's not to say, like, some of the people that we would classify as not having direction may still have had that upbringing to where, they lived in the home to where things were as the outside looking in would say, oh, that's a good home.
Right.
They were raised right. But life takes you through different things. So we're not saying all people that don't have it together necessarily wasn't raised in a good home, or proper, I guess, quotation mark, proper home.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, we need to restructure the way families are.
I don't know. I feel like these are some of the things that I feel like is where, especially boys, go astray. Girls too, because girls can turn astray too. The environment that they're in, they could be brought up in a good home, but once they go outside that home and their parents aren't with them all the time, that environment can take a hold of them.
Yeah.
The environment, the friends that they keep.
Right.
If your parents don't know your friends and aren't looking out at your friends and talking to your friends and being
they don't know their parents,
then that can take a hold of your kids too.
Being too strict can take. Being strict. As soon as you get out the house, you want to experiment all of these different things that you felt like your parents tried to protect you from. And I'm one of the people that feel like, as a parent, there are certain things that you can protect your kids from, but you can't protect them from everything.
Yes.
And if they get out into the world and be like, well, my mom or dad never told me about X, Y, and Z because they was trying to protect me.
Right.
Let me go on over here and sniff this little crack right here and see what this.
You can took it all the way to crack.
Yeah, I mean, but that happens to kids. Like, kids go to college and their parent was like, oh, we don't have alcohol in this house. Right. We don't put ourselves in environments with alcohol. What you think a teenager? Because when you go off to college, you still 18, so you're a teenager, 17, so you still a teenager. What you think the first thing you're gonna do?
They about to experiment.
You about to experiment. You about to drink till you can't drink no more. Probably not going to classes. You know, you don't have a sense of.
And the same with girls.
Yeah.
They gonna start having sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak from a parent's perspective because parenting is hard. Like, I give my hats off to any parent because parenting is hard and there's no real blue book to parenting.
Right.
And so there's a lot of different things that you could or couldn't do. But just like from my own experiences with myself and my friends growing up and going through college, like, you have to give your kids a little bit of breathing room.
Right.
Like, you have to. Yeah.
I agree. Well, I mean, I say we wrap this up.
All right, y'all. So this is another episode of not an episode.
Just like looked at me like, really, like you just gonna end the conversation.
I'm trying to figure out what she gonna say something else or.
I mean, there ain't nothing more to it other than women have baby fever. Men get baby fever, but mostly in their 30s and they ain't got kids, and it all comes down to parenting and responsibility.
So y'all, at the end of the day, if you are going to engage in sex, which most of us do,
yes, I mean,
I need you to be responsible. Okay, I need you to get out there, get on your birth controls, get on your contraceptions.
Hey, wait, I'm sorry, I'm about to cut. Wait, we gonna cut. Hold on, I got a question though. So, why are you looking at me like this?
Because I feel like I know where you going, and we're not doing that on this one yet. That's a whole nother topic, a whole nother situation. We could be on that topic for about a whole 3 hours.
Okay, y'all got to.
So y'all, tune in next time for Valerie's question, because I know where she going.
Whatever.
Check us out at the end of the day.